You're going to go, don't call me blue.
Right.
How dare you say I'm blue? Well, it's only 48% of me's painted blue. It's going to look like half. Am I wildly out of line saying that, what are you talking about? This isn't America.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear it. They were like, he doesn't represent our values. And they go, but 48%.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're seeing that too. And then I go, okay, well, so to me, I believe Joe Biden. I think the vote was a indication of the soul of the country. And apparently just under half of America likes what Trump had to say.
Yeah. Well, also, we're in the mindset that we got to vote between the lesser of the two evils.
Sure.
So it's still evil, nonetheless.
Sure.
You got evil flavored A and evil flavored B. You know? And it's unfortunate that you have a lot of people choosing evil opposed to good. And that's why I feel like, again, the majority of people that have not participated in this election cycle don't want to be involved in choosing evil. They want to keep their conscience clear. So Biden is right. This election is about the soul of our country, but not everybody in our country feels as if we need to have a part of our soul be engulfed in hatred and vitriol and disgust. And that's what the two-party represents, is that hatred for one another. And we don't believe that. I voted third party. I vote for
Joe Jorgensen.
Exactly. And that's because I didn't want to feel like I had a dog in that fight. And I wanted to pick the good guy, you know, and that's what we should be focusing on. It's not a throwing away your vote, and people want to say, oh, you helped Trump win, or you helped Biden win, or you helped them lose, or whatever the case may be. All right, fine. Well, when a libertarian wins, you can blame them for your losses, you know, because that's what it's going to come to sooner or later. If we don't have our opportunity to do so here in California in 2022, as I said, you may want to expect that in 2024 for the next presidential
I definitely
election.
see a shift. The gas tax that passed here in California was popular. They almost shut it down the very next year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 3 years ago. And then this year you see, Californians are not going to put up with Trump, but they also are pushing back on higher taxes, and they definitely wanted to help out independent business owners.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see...
Hey, rent control. You would think that would be a big one.
Yeah.
And as many people supported it, and the Democratic Party poured tens of millions of dollars into making sure that it passed, it got shot down here in the state.
I feel, and the only word that I know for pro-business, low taxes, but California values is libertarian, because it ain't Republican, in my opinion. So I understand that the run for the party, but I mean, so last question, and this is the other one I asked the people there. And they said, well, one candidate is for division and the other's saying he's for everybody, and he's going to bring everybody together and heal everything. So given that 48% of the country said they like Trump, is Joe Biden going to bring America together?
Not at all. And that's an empty promise also, because you're never going to be able to make everybody happy. The only way that you're ever going to be able to make everybody happy is just by doing your job. And I think they underestimate that, because they think that if they appease one side or the other, that's going to give them the advantage for the next election. That's all they pay attention to, is making sure that they stay career politicians by appeasing enough of Group A to get them reelected the next time around, versus getting in there, doing their job, and whether Group A or Group B likes it or hates it, all they can say is, I did my job. I did what you hired me to do. And if that's not enough, next election, get me out of here. That's what I'm offering to do as a candidate. I know I'm going to be making legislative changes and, reforming policies that is going to upset some people.
Sure.
But my job is to make sure that I'm abiding by my constitutional oath which is making sure that I'm protecting the people of California from all threats, domestic and foreign. And also making sure that I'm able to balance the books the way that they should be, instead of overtaxing and misappropriating funds collected by,
Yeah,
the working class people.
Yeah. Last question. This is the last one, I promise. So
last.
This election, Joe Biden's barely going to meet Trump. Joe Biden's going to barely beat the other guy. And it's roughly close to the votes that California had. So meaning that, yeah, he's able to say I beat Trump, but it's because of California. Right. Which means outside of California, it's damn close to 50% or 51% of Americans liked Trump, which means outside of California, a majority of America likes Trump.
Right.
And the thing I like to point out to people in 2016, whether they go, Trump lost the popular vote, and I go, no, he didn't. I go, whoa, yeah, he did. And I go, outside of California, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary won because of California alone, which means outside of California, a majority of our fellow Americans like Trump. So as a Californian who supports California values, how do you feel about the fact that 2 elections in a row, a majority of Americans said they like what that guy is? Does that make you comfortable as an American?
Not at all. If anything, that inspires me more to want to secede because it's a embracing of all of what I feel like America doesn't reflect. America really is about unity. It is about community. It is about strength and loyalty to country, not the government, And of course, we want to make sure that we're able to feed our families and, provide for ourselves. So nobody likes taxes at all. So to be seduced into the idea that we need to continue to be taxed in order to have roads,
right.
Or parks or whatever the case may be, it's just a false statement. And it's a false sense of security for those people that think that that's what they're voting for, when really it's not. So in my time in California, because I've lived here for over 20 years from Milwaukee, Wisconsin,
Don't you know?
All right. Not everybody speaks.
Sorry,
that's more Minnesota.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Wisconsin, Minnesota cultural region. I did not mean to cross-reference or
northern Wisconsin, maybe. I'm
sorry.
But yeah, being a Californian, since I've spent the majority of my life as a human here in California, I see that the majority of the people here in the state, that's what they want. They want to be that American exceptionalism, but in the true sense. We don't want to live that lie anymore. We don't want to be under that false misconception that, being the home of the brave, when we're really all just living in the name of fear. So how do you stop that trend in its development and its growth? It's by, again, getting somebody in a position of leadership that reflects that. Our current governor definitely does not reflect that, because over this coronavirus thing, which he told us would kill millions of people in the state of California, hasn't. But millions of people have suffered because of the lockdown. The lockdown rules and procedures, I guess, that he's imposed upon us, and we'll continue to have to suffer because of that, unless we get away from thinking that a Democrat is going to solve that problem for us. So with me running as a Libertarian Republican now, hopefully people will see that I'll be that different option that they're looking for.
Yeah. We'll end it there. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, pleasure indeed, my man. Pleasure. Good speaking with you.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. You can check out Nicholas Wildstar, Governor Wildstar,
WildStar2022.com.
And we're going to try to do more interviews as the election unfolds and interview other people who follow politics. And we hope that this video will be allowed to be loaded and not mysteriously
Cross your
disappear.
fingers.
So,
make it viral before they delete
yeah,
it.
we'll see. Okay.
That's what